is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive a new 2025 RDX $419 a month during our 17th anniversary sale.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield Home Security System guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take $10,000 off a 2025 Acura MDX during our 17th anniversary sale.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
It's big. It's gigantic. It's the Toyota of Hollywood Super Sale. Over 2,000 Toyotas from just $17,988. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,988. Buy with 0% financing, 0 down. Join the fun and get a super deal at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt & Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt & Rayom can help.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive a new Acura ZDX, $439 a month during our 17th anniversary sale.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
It's the Big O Show with Orlando
morning, boys and girls, or afternoon or evening, whenever it is you're tuning in, watching, or listening. Thank you all. Hit the hell out of that like button wherever you're at, on iTunes, on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, Stitcher, Google Play. I don't know, whatever it is. There's all kinds of platforms. It goes all over, and we appreciate you hitting the like button wherever you are listening or watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you on behalf of the great Sean Stanley, who, of course, masters this program every single day and the entire platform. All right, man. Interesting weekend. A lot of things to talk about. Obviously, the Dolphin performance yesterday, the Inter Miami performance yesterday, Bitcoin and Ethereum's performance over the weekend. We've got rumors. We've got, I don't know, man. There's like all kinds of stuff going on. UFC with some big ass news, man. It just goes on and on and on, actually. So bunch of stuff to talk about here on the show. So we'll have some fun. Appreciate you all tuning in as always. Yesterday, look, it's preseason. I already talked a lot about it yesterday. We did a post game. I normally don't do anything in preseason, but I felt like doing it because I was home. I felt like, okay, let me get this done. I'm watching the game. What the hell? And we kind of broke everything down. You guys can go and check it out. So I'm not going to necessarily repeat all the stuff I talked about yesterday. There was several rants that I went on yesterday, and you may want to check it out if you get a chance, and hit the like button there also. So we'll kind of go to an extension off of what we did yesterday, and if you want to get a complete like breakdown, yesterday was the show to tune in, and that'll give you a little bit of a breakdown as always, and we appreciate you all. Now, the O-line issues, they continue. It's just something that it's kind of been a theme for 40 years. You just don't really get the O-line issues. Now, you're trying to break in a first-year player, second-year guy, but a first-year starter. You're trying to break in a rookie, right? Center's fine. You've got Daniels, and then your right tackle is out right now. So there's familiarity needs to develop in chemistry and all of those other things. Jonah, I thought, got better as the game went on, but yeah, he had moments where he didn't look good. You know, he whiffed on a play, ended up on the floor on another, and I get it, but he did get better as the game went on. And they gave him the reps, which is kind of what you need. But in the end, when the 4 out of 5 guys that are starting can't get a yard against the Bears backups, that's really where it all ends up coming down. Do I like the fact that McDaniel stuck to the run? Sure, I like that. But I don't like that you gave it to Achane at the beginning of the game. It's like you don't learn anything. That's why you brought the big backs. And, hopefully Madison is all right. The play calling, again, was very questionable. The O-line, there is no depth. The only guy I gave hope for is Keon, and he's more of a tackle, but I get why they're playing him at guard, because he's obviously doesn't have any athleticism left, left, but his athleticism is not back yet. So that's probably why they're not putting him out on the edge. And yet he's still, you could tell, dude, everything, he's not even there. They have no backups that you can trust, and Eichenberg ain't saving the ass. So it's hard to imagine all 5 starters to stay healthy all year long. And does that keep Tua healthy? Because if your O-line is a sieve, that becomes a problem too. Now, Tua can go back to playing the way he played 2 years ago, like he did in this game. He got rid of it quickly. Quick decisions. Don't screw around. He looked great, overall, considering the shit talent around him, and it was all down and all that. Okay, whatever. You didn't have Tyreek and Waddle. You didn't have your studs. You're playing with backups, whatever. Playing backups and no tight end, basically. So he did what he could do with those guys, and he was sharp enough for those guys. But obviously the whole thing with the running game, the whole thing with the offensive line, the whole thing with protection, and then we got to worry about Tua not going crazy and doing too much and putting himself at risk. And then the play calling by Mike McDaniel. So a lot of the issues that we were worried about from last year kind of continued. Okay. And that's up to the coach. He still couldn't get plays in on time, even in the preseason yesterday. And you should be able to at least do that. I can understand you were struggling, and I can understand Zach Wilson struggling. I can understand some of those things. But the coach, nothing improves with this guy. He's still hard-headed, and he's still not a good game day coach, but it is what it is. Now, there were a lot of positives. The Washington kids played well. Okay, both receivers. It was great to see Taj back from the knee injury, and he played well. Okay, so Malik played well. That was really cool to see. Overall, I thought all three defensive tackles played well. Okay, so that was cool to see. You spent 3 draft picks on the defensive tackles. They look pretty good, dude. I enjoyed watching those guys. So Grant's going to be a player. Biggers continues. He had a good practice against Chicago, and then he had a good game yesterday. So I like the rotation that they added at defensive tackle. There were linebackers that were flying around. McClendon was a guy that, looked good yesterday. There were things there were a lot of positives also at the same time. That's where we can't. Yeah, was it what we all wanted? No, because a lot of the stuff that we want is on one side of the ball. We knew the secondary wasn't going to be great, right? I thought Storm was all right, actually. But we know that front seven is going to be pretty special. It's going to be fun. It's going to be deep, actually. They've got a rotation at defensive tackle. They've got pass rushers. They've got backup linebackers that are better than what they've had in the past. Willie Gay again played well along with McClendon and those kind of guys. That these are the backups. That's pretty cool. So there were things to feel good about. Special teams actually had a solid outing. All of it wasn't negative. You know what I'm saying? The problem for us as Dolphin fans is the negative part is magnified because it's what we have been concerned about from the get-go. Offensive line depth, play calling, all these kind of things. Wide receiver depth. Okay, that was like a little bit of a positive yesterday. So there were some things that we can lean on and say, hey, man, this was actually good. This was actually good. Everything wasn't bad. The problem is it gets magnified because what we all desperately want them to be, they weren't even close to it. Because on offense, they weren't physical enough. Ollie Gordon was, but the offensive line, the starting offensive line, couldn't get a yard against the Bears backups. Yeah, that's the part that hurts us. Our head coach, still stubborn, still making stupid decisions. These are things that get magnified. And so it kind of gets lost in some of the positive things that actually happened yesterday. So it's kind of rough for us. What can we do? I almost feel like it's what I've been telling you for a while now, right? That to me, everything was handled like the front office has a plan in place And the head coach is on an island right now, and he has to prove that he can actually coach because this is the worst team he's had. And now he has to save his job with the worst team he's had. And you and I, if we sit down and have an honest conversation, none of us really have that kind of confidence. I know some of you lie to yourselves and say, oh, no, McDaniel will figure it out this year. And I know, and I get it. That's cute. It's cute that some of you like to lie to yourselves and all that. But I get it. You want to convince yourselves because of whatever. But I just kind of feel that we're headed for, we'll enjoy some of the individual achievements. But I think it's all about watching this guy coach his ass right out of this team and Weaver get the opportunity and get elevated. The more I see what I saw yesterday heading into the season, and it's like, okay, well, that guy hasn't changed. I know they don't have depth on the offensive line. I know the secondary sucks. I know that. You know that. I don't have to tell you that, right? We don't need that. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. Let me ask you something again to remind you about Mike McDaniel. What's his job? Don't credit him because Tua's always prepared and he elevates everything, and you looks way more competent with him than any quarterback out there. That happened under Flo. That happens under Mike McDaniel. What I ask you is, which backup quarterback, while he's here, McDaniel, is ready? And that's where I felt bad for Zach Wilson, and I felt bad for Ewers yesterday. I don't think they have the guy that's going to prepare them properly at this level. Okay? He's not a quarterback guru. And these are the things that get magnified and why it's hard to say, oh, yeah, no, this year the light's going to go on. Yeah, no, they're going to figure it out. Oh, yeah, we look good. Yeah, he gets it. At no point did you say that with Mike McDaniel yesterday. The only time was that at least he stayed with the run on the goal line area, which, okay, but your people weren't competent enough to get the first down. And again, why was Achane even playing yesterday? Does Achane have anything to prove at all? Nothing. He looked fantastic. Did you need to see him yesterday? I didn't, and I certainly did not need to see him in short yardage situation. That was stupid. What are we preparing him for? For a role he shouldn't have? Stupid coaching. When stupid coaching goes on, it's hard to feel good about the team. By the way, Welt and Rayom, we love talking about Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom, and those are the best bookend tackles you can get in the business. Okay, if you're dealing with bankruptcy or homeowner property damage or condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, and let me tell you, the Miami Dolphins can use bookend tackles like Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom, because right now they don't have it because Austin Jackson is out. But you can have bookend tackles that even Tua Tagovailoa doesn't have right now. 954-966-4646. They have their own adjusters. They've taken care of lots of our listeners in South Florida, on the west coast of Florida, in Central Florida. I don't think we've had any listeners yet in the Panhandle area. But listeners affected in all of these things, especially the storms last year on the West Coast. Several of our listeners reached out there. We had a listener in Orlando like 2 years ago reach out. Man, we've got listeners all over the place reaching out to Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. And folks, never call the insurance company. So if you see a brown spot on your roof and you think you may have a leak, you call Welt and Rayom. They'll send their adjusters. They'll determine if you have a case, and then they'll go after the insurance company. You never have to make a phone call, and maybe they can get you that new roof. 954-966-4646. If you got homeowner property damage, or if you're dealing with bankruptcy, unfortunately, a lot of people have been racking up their credit cards. 954-966-4646 for Welt and Rayom. Remember, hit the hell out of that like button, and you can make a donation to the show. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And, of course, you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. Always appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See, Oscar Rojas is number 1 in Melbourne. Says, I know it's the first preseason game, but at least I saw some better special teams. Yeah, the special teams play was good. I mean, we got to give them credit when they're playing well, right? In certain areas, they did well. In certain areas, they should have done a lot better. And that, that's the part that kind of sucks, unfortunately. But special teams, hopefully, I mean, how long have we been calling for Crossman to get fired? And finally, they fired him. It took McDaniel 3 years to do what we already knew. And that's the part that I just didn't understand. So that's the part that was kind of frustrating. And it's good to see yesterday a nice start for special teams. So I agree with you on that. I think special teams was definitely a positive. NorCal says McD fired after week 5 is my prediction. I know that's early, but he's an overachiever, LOL. Jeff in Long Island, do you think Waddle and Tyreek will play in the preseason game at some point? I would imagine that next week they play. Here, this week against Detroit, they play. I would imagine. Okay? This should be the dress rehearsal game, not the third one. This way, if anybody gets hurt, you get an opportunity to get healthy. So I would venture to say for sure Waddle, depending on how much he got banged up on that Friday, but it looks like it wasn't serious. And then the Tyreek thing, if they're healthy, they play this week. So I would imagine that this week would be the dress rehearsal. It's going to be a rough week. They got 2 practices against the Lions. This is going to be a tough week for the Dolphins. Let's just hope. What do I care about? Injuries. That's all I care about. This is not a super deep team. I don't want to see injuries. One-Eyed Jack, good morning to you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He says, Sunday night Bitcoin and Ethereum pump with a little dip going on right now. Yeah, man. Yeah, we are right now on the crypto side. Let me do a little crypto segment here. Thanks to our friends at R&M Contractors and Custom. They do it all. They do it all kinds of custom work for you, complete remodel, kitchen upgrades. If you need them, 305-345-3649. Right now, Ethereum, it hit over 43 something, like 43.40 or something like that. It's at 42.86. So it's now making a comeback and going. We'll see if it goes to all-time highs. Bitcoin hit 122 something. I got it like at 122, 100 or something like that yesterday, 175, I think, or something like that. And then it's now down, and right now it's at 119. Nope, wait, we hit 120. We're at 120.022. So a little bit, as the gentleman just said, a little bit of a dip right now. And there's a lot of good things going on, okay? First of all, if Bitcoin hits 125K, which I think today we're gonna go break a record. If it hits 125K, $14 billion in shorts are going to be liquidated. That will send Bitcoin soaring to 130 probably. The other thing, Saylor ended up making a buy, but it wasn't that big. It was only 155 Bitcoin. I say only to the guy that wishes he had one. Would be nice to have one, but he only bought 155 for 18 million. It's only 155. 116,401 per coin. Now, Strategy owns 628,946 Bitcoin at 46.09 billion at 73,288 per coin. Over the weekend, Ethereum's pump, they became the 22nd largest asset by market cap, flipping MasterCard. So Ethereum now flipped MasterCard. It's just over the years, because this has gone on now for 6 years, and we're into our sixth year, and Sean's been around, and I've had so many of the negative Nellies. They've all disappeared now. I mean, by now, if you think of Bitcoin and Ethereum and you still think that that's not real and it's not what's going on, and it was, I can't help you anymore. Your ignorance is just, what can I say? And Bitcoin and crypto, if you notice, is decoupling from the market. And it's going to get stronger, especially on the Bitcoin side. And again, sorry, but when we talk about this, politics have to be involved, and it's just the way it goes. I'm sorry, But as the tariffs really take hold over the next 6 months, and companies no longer can stockpile and do what they've done now to kind of avoid the tariffs and all that, things are going to go up, prices are going to go up, our spending is going to go through the roof, inflation is going to go up, and that's going to power Bitcoin even more. It's going to weaken the stock market to a certain extent, because stocks they're completely oversold. Okay. And once the dollar, as people continue to dump the dollar and it becomes a problem in the bond market and all that, because that's what's coming, whatever, everybody has their own opinions. I have mine. It will power Bitcoin, and it will power crypto even more. And let me tell you something. Some American companies obviously will benefit from worldwide adoption, right? Some, because they will also run into competition in other countries and other parts of the world. So they won't be as strong as they are in America. Well, American stocks are going to go down. Bitcoin or Ethereum is worldwide. It's something that everyone will use. Americans or Germans or Brazilians or Russians or Chinese, or everyone will be on the blockchain. Everyone will be on Ethereum. Everybody will use Bitcoin. It doesn't matter, So, the dollar will be used less in a lot of international levels. Well, Bitcoin's going to go up in the process. I'll give you an example. Sean, if you can, bring up that video I sent you. Ricardo Salinas Pliego, he's worth a little over $7 billion. Okay? So he must know something that you and I don't know. All right? He's the chairman of retail banking giant Electra. They had a revenue of just a mere $10.71 billion last year. He has holdings in TV Azteca. All right. He sold half of his mobile company, Lucacell, for $1.7 billion in 2015. Okay. This man, he's a billionaire, and he owns several companies, and they are monster companies. The banking giant that he has, Electra, all that, retail and banking. Again, $10.7 billion in revenue last year. He's worth $7 billion himself. 80% of his worth is in Bitcoin. He put 80% of his worth in Bitcoin. Listen to him talk about it. These 20 seconds here, 30 seconds, whatever it is. Listen what Ricardo Salinas is doing. And he has suggested to people in Mexico over and over and over again, because he's one of the 5 richest people in Mexico, one of the richest people in the world. Anyway, go ahead. Fire away that video.
So I'm not very positive about the economy in general. I think that anybody who has an investment portfolio should be extremely careful, because of the way that stocks are valued today is ridiculous. I don't own a single stock other than gold miners, Bitcoin miners, and in a very small proportion. And that's why my portfolio is 80% Bitcoin and Bitcoin exposure through miners and 20% gold and gold exposure through miners. And that's it. That's my investment portfolio. You know? Yeah, I don't know. Why do I still have gold? Well, I could probably move to 100% Bitcoin, but maybe I need a little bit more time, you know, being an old guy and all that.
By the way,
I'm not very positive.
By the way, the Trumpster has now added a tariff on gold. Well, guess what's going to happen? People are going to sell their gold and they're going to go to Bitcoin because you can move Bitcoin through borders and all over everywhere, millions, billions, $1, $5, and it goes from one peer to another peer in seconds. And there is no banks involved. There's no international bank involved. None of that. It doesn't take days like it does for a wire transfer. No, it goes in seconds. So, and gold is kind of heavy and bulky and all that. And now if you start buying gold and you're shipping it, and now you've got to pay tariffs, gold prices will go down now some. And the smart people will move their gold to Bitcoin. I'm just telling you. And finally, altcoin season is kicking off. But as I've been telling you for the last couple of months, it's going to be called a select altcoin season. And we're all going to hope, okay, because I'm involved in like 20 altcoins. Some are going to fail. I've been telling you this for a while. Be prepared. I don't know which ones, because I'm not smart enough to tell you which ones are all going to succeed and which ones are all going to fail. But I'm kind of prepared that 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5, or 6 of them, or 7 of them, or 8 of them are going to fail. So that's why I've always told you Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then, 10, 10, and 10. I always tell you with the altcoins and rotate them and all, because you just want to put less exposure and keep your main money on the Bitcoin and Ethereum, because as I've been preaching for a long time, and it's been proven, they are the big dogs of the show, and they will prove to be the big dogs of the show over and over and over and over again. That is your crypto corner there. Thanks to our friends at R&M Contractors, Ray and Mike. They know how to get it done, baby. By the way, they also do the waterproofing for your terrace and your balcony and a flood test report. So it's great for condos. It's great even for your home if you have a second floor and all that. You don't want anything, if a pipe bust or something. You don't want the water going downstairs and creating even more of a mess. You want it to be able to kind of withhold and drain properly, and they do all of that. So call our friends at R&M Contractors if you live here in South Florida, 305-345-3649. All right. And remember, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. You can also make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Chainlink donation. Ho Yoon, thank you, my friend. As always, I appreciate you like clockwork, man. Thank you. We appreciate your generosity, which is absolutely amazing. Man, many ways to keep us going. Donations are definitely a way to do it, and we appreciate that. Thank you, Ho Yoon. Too much, my brother. Too much. You are too much. What can I tell you? All right, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, of course, which we always love, a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. Let's see, what else do we have here? Big Johnson. Yep, I like the running game too. Just the short yardage stuff kind of hurt there. Although Ollie, man, looked good catching the ball and everything. That was good. That was fun to watch. Zach Wilson is waiting for guys to get open instead of throwing. Well, let me explain something to you guys about Zach Wilson. With Zach, the problem is he's a thrower. He's not a passer. He can't anticipate through windows. And also, to his detriment and Quinn Ewers' detriment, he has a bad quarterbacks coach also teaching him. It's proven with all the other quarterbacks. He's a bad quarterbacks coach. Tua's a freak. Tua succeeds wherever he's at. Alabama, he'll win more than he loses, even with a guy that hates him in flow and is trying to sabotage his career by starting it against the Rams and all that kind of stuff. Please, Tua overcomes all this shit. But Zach Wilson is not good enough for that. So Zach Wilson will look like this. And by the way, to Zach Wilson's credit, the kid after the game took responsibility for the sacks. Okay? He knows he held on to the ball because it's like you just said, sir. He throws after it's open. He cannot lead a receiver. It's not his thing. He's got an arm. He's got athleticism. That's what he's used. And some quarterbacks are like that. Cam Newton could never anticipate a throw in his life. He had to throw it after the break, after it opened, after he saw it. He could not have, that premonition of seeing how it's developing and where it's going to be. He doesn't know how to do that. And that's just not Zach's problem. There's a lot of other quarterbacks that have this issue. It's a skill, and Zach doesn't possess it. So that's why he holds on to the ball. That's why he'll make mistakes. That's why he short-armed two throws. One of them should have been a touchdown. Easily. Accuracy is not necessarily his forte. Now, does he have an arm and athleticism? Yeah, dude. Of course. He can throw it from point A to point B if he sees it. But if it's moving and if it's challenged and if he's got to read and react or anticipate, then that's where Zach Wilson will struggle. Plus, McD is a mediocre quarterbacks coach, and that's been proven so far. Until he shows me that he can bring somebody along, because he had Thompson for 3 years. He didn't do shit with Hundley. He's just never done anything with any young quarterback. That's all. With Tua, he gave him confidence. Yeah, he gives everybody confidence. It doesn't mean it works out. My God, he gave Julian Hill the captain yesterday. That was crazy. So Zach Wilson will continue to struggle because this is who Zach Wilson is. What else do we have? Brian Radke, good morning to you, sir. Negative to positive, good morning to you. Ready for a dose of negativity or reality or whatever, however you want to look at it. That's fine. So let's see. Some Orlando Alzagari 2406 has tuned in. Okay. Somebody with a copy. Giovanni says, miss you all. Haven't been on for a while, but always listen. And of course, smash the like button. Thank you, Giovanni. Appreciate you. Thank you, Kosa. Frankie. Let's see. Lisa in. Brian Landis. Brian Daughtry. Blind ass fan alert. This is a good week for the Dolphins. Wake up needed. Humiliation can be motivation. There are some players on this team. Get to work. That's it, Brian. They're going to get it done. They're going to turn the corner. They're going to figure it out. Mike McDaniel will get plays in on time. He will win every damn challenge. He will prepare every quarterback to win. He will stick to the running game. He will use big running backs, not midget running backs in short yardage situations. And speaking of midgets, he will now implement big wide receivers. Yes, he's going to do it all. And you, Sean Stanley, what do you say to that?
blind-ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind-ass fan coming through.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate you all out there. Don't forget to hit the like button. Miles Deep is out in Vegas. Fernando Perez, John Padilla checking in from the Big Bay area. Luis Medina, Mr. Beat Road. Damn, yesterday was horrible. I thought it was a typical preseason. Fernando Perez says, oh no, Dolphins suck again. Let's see. Lenny says, it's only preseason, but I can see McDoofus hasn't learned the thing. Using HN and short yardage was bad, but going for it on fourth down before the half to give up the field goal was a bad decision. You know, whatever. I mean, that he probably wouldn't do that in a regular season game, I think. So it's just, you know, whatever. Derek Sibley in the house. St. Michael. Only the most optimistic fan could go into the season with this O-line and secondary and expect anything more than 5-12 or 6-11 season. I hate to say it, but it's true. I've been a fan since '83. Yeah. Kyle Cockrell is in the house. Caesar, Big O, didn't El Salvador have some positive Bitcoin? Yeah, dude. They're so in the profit. Plus, they are opening the first ever Bitcoin bank, El Salvador, which I think is the news you're talking about. It broke on Thursday or Friday, I believe, late last week. I want to say Thursday, that they announced that they're opening a Bitcoin bank in El Salvador, which is about time. And they're the country to do it right now, since they've been pro Bitcoin right from the get-go since Bukele took over. So yes, you are correct, sir. Chuck Cooper, Big O, watched your show yesterday and you continue to bring it strong. Truth versus fiction is always appreciated. By the way, you've been channeling Jackie Gleason. Your reaction to comments are priceless. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Let's see. That's right, Kyle. What else? St. Michael said, I thought this was a sports show. No, dude, this is a talk show. So we talk about life. We talk about Bitcoin and crypto. We'll venture into politics. We'll talk sports. We'll talk music. You know, I'm not in a sports channel anymore where I'm forced to be all in sports. The show's called the Big O Radio Show. And so I'm going to talk about a lot of things that I am now interested in and I feel like talking about. So if you're looking for a show to just be about sports, yeah, this is not the show for you. Now, if you're willing to go on the ride and talk about different things and, you know, not be short-sighted and only be about sports, then you'll be all right on this channel. But if not, yeah. And it's not going to change, by the way. It's been like that for 6 years. I'm not sure if you've been following, but it's been like that for 6 years. Or we're not 6 years, we're 5.5 in, or something like that, whatever, 5 and a few months in. But yeah, so never been all about just sports. I get it. You can just wait for Sean Stanley to cut it up and put video and audio segments of just sports, and then you can just get your fix that way. So there you go. What else do we have in here? It's the beauty when it's your show, you can do whatever the you want. Jaybird in the house. Jonathan Jensen, since the backup QB suck. No, I'm not. Look, I don't think Zach Wilson is your answer anyways as a starter, but I don't think he'll be at his best with this coach. And Ewers, dude, he's a rookie. He's a third-day rookie pick making his first start. You know, so and with a mediocre coach on the sidelines. So that's also a detriment to Ewers. You know what I mean? Ewers struggled yesterday, although you got to admit, there were a couple passes that were really nice that he put in the hands of a couple guys there that I want to say, what do you think, Sean, yesterday? Ewers had maybe 2 or 3 drops. I want to say at least, right? His day might have looked a little different if they hung on to those footballs. You know what I'm saying? I know he wasn't perfect and all that, but there were a couple throws in there that I was like, wow. The one to Ollie was really nice, dude. Really nice. And I love that Ollie Gordon showed hands. Not only is he a big back and all that, but I love that he showed hands. I thought that was huge. Huge. That was a nice little positive. Now we'll see if this dude actually uses him. You know what I'm saying? Horn Dog is in the house. Daniel likes a 5-7 win team. Greg, the kill switch, thinks it's a 7-9 or 9-8 season incoming. Moserino says, Big O Dirty Honey, August 26, Hard Rock Live, Orlando. No shit. Whoa. 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 Whoa, 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 whoa. Because I'm there. Like, I'm there. Really? Wow. Hard Rock Live, Orlando. You got to be kidding me. This is awesome. Dude, I love you. If this is true, I love you. I love you. I love you. Great White and Slaughter. Struts, I'm going to see them when they're here. Well, I don't see it here yet, but maybe it's because they just added it. I extended it to see if you are correct. Dream Theater, I'll be there for that one, by the way, because they never come here. Love Dream Theater, dude. They're really good. Oh, wait a minute. It says 1 of 2. Okay, we got more. I'm telling you, I might buy them like right now on air here on the show. Juvenile. December 3rd. I don't see it there yet at Hard Rock Live. All right, I got to look it up. I'll look it up after. But if it's there, I'm there, dude. I'm there. I'm there. What else do we have? Can you imagine how frustrated McDaniel's daughter gets during bedtime stories? A 3-hour Cat in the Hat. She's asleep already by that time. 5 minutes in with the ums and ahs and you knows, she's 5 minutes in, she's asleep. McDaniel bores the shit out of me during press conferences. Okay? I would imagine that every writer's on cocaine there for all his press conferences. Ewers did look more poised as a rookie. He does need to learn how to hold on to the ball when tackled. Yeah, he did. Did you hear Lars from Metallica say 2026 residency at the Sphere? Damn cool, but expensive. I heard about it, that everybody's been reporting about Metallica at the Sphere, which would be pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Yeah, I could see myself at one of those shows. Yeah. Yeah, Miles Deep. And we'll share beer too. Before or after, my friend. What else do we have?
Hey,
Bevel. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It looks like the Struts and Dirty Honey are the same on the 26th of August.
Whoa, wait a minute.
I'm looking at like Strong Song Kick, and I looked up Dirty Honey, and everything came up the Struts. So I don't know if they're with them or.
No, so that's what it is. So the Struts concert. Wow, because I got tickets for the Struts here because the wife loves the Struts, but I don't believe that. Wow, is Dirty Honey opening up here also? Is that what it was? Maybe I forgot or something. But if Dirty Honey is opening up here, then we really win. Dirty Honey and the Struts, that's pretty good. That's freaking amazing. That is awesome. I hope I get Dirty Honey opening up here in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale. Somebody look it up for me. Does Dirty Honey
right now? I'm trying to find out.
Does Dirty Honey open up for the Struts? Because if they don't, then I have to go to Orlando to go see that concert because I am a Dirty Honey fanatic. And that gentleman knows that I'm a Dirty Honey fanatic. Ocala Joe in the house. Good morning to you, my brother. Much love to Lourdes out there. Says, glad to smash it early. Only thing to look forward to this season is the developing young guys and McDumbass getting fired. You guys are a trip. Tommy says some Dolph fans are saying that we're going to go 13-4. Those are the people that have to convince themselves of that. That's the only way they can watch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, August 26th. I see it here. Dirty Honey and the Struts on Hard Rock Orlando. But I don't know about down here. I hope it's the case. Because I know I have the tickets. I got the tickets already for me and the wife on that one. She loves the Struts. Plus, she likes Dirty Honey now. Now I've turned her on to Dirty Honey. Yes.
What date is the Fort Lauderdale one?
Oh, man.
Do you know that right off the top of your head? Sorry.
I don't know off the top of my head. Just look at the Struts tour dates.
Well, that's what I'm looking at, but they don't have one for Fort Lauderdale.
They don't?
They have August 26th, Orlando, August 27th, St. Petersburg, August 29th, Atlanta.
You know what? Maybe my tickets are up there then. How about that? Maybe I have those tickets and I didn't, I didn't realize that they're up there. That's probably what it is. Because my buddy Robert is the one that ends up getting them for me. So I'm pretty sure I have those. So maybe if they're not coming here, then that means my tickets are the ones up there. It's probably what it is.
And St. Petersburg is probably Tampa, right? Yeah, that's Tampa. St. Petersburg is the Tampa area too, right?
Yeah.
So you've been there a couple times to see some concerts.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. That's probably it. All right, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation too. Christian DiMartino, thank you for the love on Venmo. He says, I'm locked in for the season. Although expectations are not very high, YouTube has taken my $480 for Sunday ticket. I'm looking forward to the Weaver era. Seems like they might be prepping for it. Put this towards a Spain road show. Thank you, sir. And we will have several Spain road shows. We are hoping to be locked into a place somewhere to broadcast a sports bar, wherever it is that they do it there. The fans at Madrid, okay, wherever they do it there, we plan on going there. So hopefully we can do it from there. I could do it from my Airbnb, but I'm not going to do that because I want to do it where there's going to be fans, because we want to do it somewhere where fans can gravitate from in the Madrid area to. We got to create one sports bar somewhere in Madrid that is kind of like the headquarters for Dolph fans, and then I want to do the shows there on probably Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Thursday, Friday, depending on the travels because I know we travel on Tuesday. So maybe by Wednesday we're doing our show. Either I do it from the Airbnb or I do it right from, because it's like travel's a long time. But I'll do it from the Airbnb or from the bar if we're able to set it up by then and all of that. We're in the process of all of that. Okay. So, but I appreciate you all out there and thank you for supporting us and helping us get to Madrid. It's very kind of you all out there. Very nice of you. What else do we have? He says, I saw it on Bands in Town. Okay. I believe you. Maybe I know I have tickets for the Struts. Maybe that's it, that they're not here. They're in Central Florida. And that's cool. If I get Dirty Honey, shit. Can't beat that, bro.
Dirty Honey opening up for the Struts. Wow. That is one freaking great concert. Love that. I am going. The only thing that I'm going to be disappointed in is that I don't get a full headlining set of Dirty Honey. I have to get an opening set of Dirty Honey, which will only be like 11 songs, 10 songs or something, instead of 19 songs or something, if they would be headlining, which would be really cool, of course, when it comes to Dirty Honey. That's why I was so lucky last year when I went to California and I got them at the back end of their North American tour. They finished in California. They're a California band. They're a Los Angeles band. And I saw them one night at the Troubadour and the other night at the Whiskey A Go-Go. And that was freaking awesome, dude, to see them perform. They did like 30-something songs in 2 nights because they did different songs in both nights. I think it was like 30 songs or 31 or something. I forgot what it was. I forgot what it was, but it was a bunch, and that was cool. They did their entire catalog in 2 nights because obviously they're a young band. So that was actually really, really cool. And I would say that the Troubadour show was actually the better show out of the 2. There was just a little more oomph in the Troubadour show over the Whiskey A Go-Go. Don't know why, can't explain it. It's just probably one of those things that just happens. But it was cool, and he was climbing up into the balcony and all that kind of stuff. It was really, really, really cool. It was a fun concert. I have become a monster Dirty Honey fan. All right, what else do we have going on in the world of sports? By the way, you see Canes wear there. Man, there's all kinds of great people out there. Brett and Jeff and Jack and just Ken Graff out there. Also, great people out there at Canes where they will take care of you. They've got anything and everything with the Canes logo on it. We got the Canes and Notre Dame coming up. I'm really pumped. Okay. I always look forward to a Dolphin season because I love the Dolphins, and I'll be looking forward to it, and I'll be rooting them on and hoping they win. Hope they prove me wrong, and looking forward to some of the young guys developing, and maybe looking forward to Weaver taking over. But I don't have high hopes for them. But the Canes, I do. I actually think that that Mario has changed, and he showed it to us last year, and I have not been more pumped about a Canes season in a long, long time. And I am pumped for this one. Go to Canesware, use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off everything in the store. Okay. So get out there, take advantage, unless it's, something that's already like chopped down, when they have those sales or something slash for 40, 50, they don't give you 10% on top of that. But you know what I'm saying? Like you go buy anything, you get 10% off. And you can go get hats. They got all kinds of Dolphin hats, old logos. You can get Inter Miami gear, Marlins gear, Miami Heat gear, Miami Dolphins gear. So check it out. And, of course, use our code BIG010, and you will get 10% off. All right? All right. Bitcoin is back at 120,000. Down from 122. We'll see if we break a record today, which would be really, really nice if it could happen. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Why don't we? If your company is looking for custom printing and embroidery, call my guy, Alan Blanco, 3A Graphics, 786-618-1443. Custom printing and embroidery. You can do this anywhere in the country because, as you all know, you send the logo to somebody, you can talk through Zoom and all that kind of stuff, and you email the logo and all that, and they get it done and get it shipped to you right away. So 3A Graphics can do that. Alan does great work. You look at all the work on our shirts. He does all that work there. Yesterday, Dolphins and Bears played to a 24-24 tie. Did love Ollie Gordon, the rookie, 8 rushes, 33 yards, 4.1 yards per carry and a touchdown. He had 1 reception for 39 yards. And Taj Washington, the second-year player and coming back from a knee injury, had 3 receptions for 53 yards. Dolphins will take on Detroit on Saturday at 1 o'clock. They will practice twice this week against the Lions, and we'll have all the coverage for you. Orlando City dominated Inter Miami. They thoroughly embarrassed them 4-1. I will say the Yannick Bright goal in the 5th minute was freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. But Orlando City dominated their asses. Saturday, they take on the LA Galaxy at Chase Stadium at 7:30. Looks like Messi will come back and play for that one. The UFC has agreed to a monster 7-year, $7.7 billion exclusive U.S. media rights deal with Paramount. All of the UFC events in 2026 will move to Paramount, with some select events going to CBS. So CBS and Paramount spending $7.7 billion. Over the weekend, the Eagles lost Landon Dickerson. He got carted off the field with the leg injury. By the way, his backup, Kenyon Green, also carted off the field with a leg injury. The Washington Commanders, I'm proud of myself, signed linebacker Duke Riley. The Ravens signed running back Myles Gaskins. Ohio State added coach Josh Boyer to the staff. And the Colts lost Salvon Ahmed to a hip drop tackle in practice. Sadly, the young man is out for the year. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. Oh, man. Appreciate all of you out there. As always, don't forget to smash the like button wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, whatever time. It doesn't matter. We appreciate it immensely. As always, you guys are awesome. Ira Winderman will join us tomorrow, and so will David Furones. Okay, so we'll get to talk to those guys tomorrow, and we'll get a breakdown a little bit on the Heat, and obviously everything going on with the Dolphins. Manny Navarro also will join us tomorrow. So tomorrow's loaded. Tomorrow we will talk Canes, we will talk Dolphins, and we will talk Heat also on the show. So not bad. Not bad. Ethereum, by the way, where are we at? Did we cross 4,300 again, or are we still just under 4,300? It's funny because they crossed like 4,000 like on Thursday or Friday. I think it was Friday maybe. They crossed 4,000, then it's just continued to be on an absolute tear. We're at 4,280 right now, up 2.2%. And Chainlink is up 1.7%. Jasmy's up 4%. Bitcoin's up 1%. It's at 120 right now. Kind of quiet, overall. On the market side, the Dow is down 161 points is what I have here right now. And the S&P is down about 2.5 points. And the NASDAQ is barely up. That's what you got going on. All right. There we go. All right. What else do we have going on? Oh, I saw this over the weekend, and I'm going to get to another Dolphin topic that I want to get to. But before I get to that, I saw over the weekend that, or it's actually been going on for like the last week or two. I don't know. Have you seen this theme, Sean? Cam Newton is the worst covered #1 draft pick ever. Cam Ward gets the least attention of any number one draft pick ever, and that Shedeur Sanders, a 5th round pick, gets way more coverage than Cam Ward does, the number one over. Have you seen all of that narrative that's been thrown out there? Yeah, right? You all have seen that, right? Let me go to places that most people never think about. Okay? Because I know the game. I've been at it for 35 years. So I know what people do in this business. Nobody, absolutely nobody, is rooting against Cam Ward. It's impossible to not like Cam Ward. He carries himself with bravado, but not with open bravado. It's bravado inside the locker room. It's bravado for his teammates. It's, like that kind of stuff. Like a Tom Brady. He's not necessarily talking shit to people out there, but he's talking shit, on the field with his teammates and getting them psyched and all that kind of stuff. Right? So it's nobody wants to tear down Cam Ward. But man, they love tearing down Shedeur Sanders. Now, Shedeur Sanders is the guy that's flashed the money. Then Shedeur Sanders, which is the Sanders kid that had to file for Chapter 11 already? Can you look that up? Was it Shedeur? Was it Shiloh? Was it the other kid? I don't know. One of their kids, NIL or whatever, making money, they had to file Chapter 11 and everything. Like I'm approaching 59. Okay, I'm approaching 59, and I never filed for Chapter 11. Shit, I've never even filed for unemployment. I've never gotten 1 week of unemployment. Okay? Yes, sir.
Shiloh
already filed for bankruptcy. It's crazy shit. So the Sanders, and then Dion was so out there, and he was a great player and all of that, that the way they carry themselves, that turns people off. So that's what the media loves to do, is they love to build you up. And that's what they did with Shedeur this week. Shedeur went 14 of 23, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He looked in complete control. He looked super comfortable. Not one bit did he look like a rookie out there. When you watch some of the other guys, they look like rookies. Shedeur did not. Okay? And now they're all talking up Shedeur. And a lot of them like to talk it up because they want to bring him down. You know what I'm saying? Did you see that scene with Shedeur and Tony Grossi, the beat writer for the Browns? He's like, Tony, why don't you write anything good about me? You never say anything good about me. Yes, sir. What are you going to say, Sean?
No, I say, yeah, I saw it.
Cam wouldn't do that. Cam would never do that. He doesn't give a shit about that. He doesn't worry about that. You didn't think good. Okay, it's just bulletin board material for his mind, maybe. But he's not going to do it, and it was cool. In a way, it was cool to see, because really, Shedeur Sanders has really done nothing to nobody. He's not a bad kid. Yeah, he's got a little flashiness to him. I get it. That's kind of with the Sanders family, dude. So what? They just love to build you up and then to tear your ass down. Remember what I tell you all the time, that fans and sometimes even media, they have a tendency of building up their own expectations for something, and it's unrealistic. But when whatever expectations they build up, if that person, that team, that coach, that owner does not live up to the expectations that they built up, they tear them down. Whoa. They tear them down. That's what they do. And that's why I mentioned it. And to me, it's not about that. Oh, they're focusing more on Shador than Cam. No, dude, it's just that Shador is a lightning rod. Cam isn't. Cam is super likable. Cam is impossible not to like. Cam is impossible not to root for. Shador is the opposite of that for a lot of other people. So that's why you're getting the attention more for Shador than for Cam Ward. Okay? Everybody feels great about Cam Ward, but Cam Ward doesn't feed you, doesn't give you any fuel to your fire. Shador has already. So now they've already built all this shit up, all the negative stuff, all the that's all it is. They just love to tear one kid down. The other guy, everybody loves. All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of stuff, which we get all the time, which is all good in the hood, as they say. Let me get to we have a Dolphin rumor, by the way, and I'll get to that Dolphin rumor in 1 second. Let me get to a little music here before I do that. Let me go to our Summer of Performance sales event going on right now at Acura of Pembroke Pines, 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. And they've got 3.9% financing for 60 months right now on the beautiful Integra, $299 a month. Remember, folks, once the tariffs kick in, the $7,500 for electric vehicles goes out. Okay, so the ZDX is $469. They've got 2024 models right now, 0% financing for 72 months. You can get the $7,500 off now. They're going to take that away. When they take that away, that you're going to have to pay $7,500 more for the vehicle. So take advantage right now. They still have 2024 models. They've got 2025 models. Go down there to Acura, Pembroke Pines, take advantage. Let me go back. The Integra, $299 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. The ADX, $349 a month, 4.9% financing for 60 months. The RDX, my wife drives it every day, $419 a month, 4.9% financing for 60 months. And again, $7,500 off the electric vehicles. That is going away. Trump is taking that away. So it's going to go up. All electric vehicles are going to go up $7,500 because you will not get that break. Take advantage. Get over 300 miles to the charge. It's really, really cool. Go see Larry Schlossberg, Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone, and tell them that Big O sent you there at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. All right. Let me get to a little música. All right, let's do that. And then we'll get to little Dolphins. Let's start off on August 11th. Who is celebrating birthdays, as in musicians celebrating birthdays on August 11th? Chris Kelly, born in 1978 on this date, from Chris Cross, the duo of Chris Smith and Chris Kelly. They were 12 and 13. Then when they recorded, Kelly, by the way, died on May 1st of 2013 in an Atlanta hospital at the age of 34. That's ridiculous. Let's see who else. Ben Gibbard, singer for Death Cab for Cutie, born in 76. Andy Bell, he is coming to the Fillmore, by the way. Guitarist, singer. Wait a minute, hold on. Wrong Andy Bell, my bad. Andy Bell, who joined Oasis in 99, another Andy Bell. 1970. I was thinking of Erasure's Andy Bell. Let's see who else celebrating a birthday today. Joe Jackson. Is she really going out with him? Joe Jackson, born on this date in 1954. Of course, Stepping Out, and what's that other song that my favorite is She Really Going Out with Him? That for me is my favorite Joe Jackson song. But I know Stepping Out, and what's that other one? Oh, damn it. It's kind of like a mellow song. Anyway, Joe Jackson, talent, 54 years old today. Eric Braun, guitarist with Iron Butterfly, born in 1950. And Agata Devita. Eric Carmen, singer, songwriter, guitarist, keyboardist, solo artist, Raspberries, born in 1949. We just lost him last year in 2024 at the age of 74. Who else celebrating birthdays today? Mike Hug, drummer with Manfred Mann, born in 1942. And that is it for musicians. Let's go with other famous people celebrating birthdays today. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means sadly they have passed away. We go with writer Alex Haley, born in 1921. Actor Arlene Dahl, born in 1925. Evangelist Jerry Falwell, born in 1933. Musician Jim Cale from the Guess Who, born in 43. He is 82 today. Still with us. Awesome. Entrepreneur Steve Wozniak, born in 1950. He's 75. Ooh. Sean Stanley, we'll be talking about this guy. Let's see who else. Writer David Henry Hwang, born in 57. He's 68. Actress Viola Davis, born in 65. She's 60. Radio personality Joe Rogan, born in 67. He's 58. Ali Shahid Muhammad from A Tribe Called Quest, born in 1970. He's 55. Actor Will Friedle, born in 76. He's 49. Actor Chris Hemsworth, born in 83. He's 42. And that is it. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers on this date? I know you have one, that's for sure. A big-ass name, too.
Yes, sir. Norio Hanaga turned 70. Lexi Nair, she's 29. The former Alba Fire, now Kaylee Ray, is 33. Chris Dickinson turns 38. WWE Hall of Famer Brickhouse Brown was born on this date in 1960. And ECW personality, referee, manager Bill Alfonso turned 68 today. And the one you're alluding to, we just recently lost, WWE Hall of Famer, the great Hulk Hogan, was born on this date in 1953. And those are your birthdays for August 11th, 2025.
We just lost Lonnie Anderson, and she died, and then like 2 days later was her birthday too. And like we just lost Hulk Hogan, and then his birthday was just recently. I mean, just now, and he just died. I mean, it's just crazy how that happens sometimes. All right, let's move over to music history. All right, let's go with 1962. Neil Sedaka started a 2-week run at number 1 on the U.S. singles charts with Breaking Up Is Hard to Do, his first U.S. number 1 as an artist. My favorite song of Sedaka has always been Bad Blood. Great song. Excellent song. In 78, Chic released her second studio album, C'est Chic. It featured Le Freak. In 79, The Knack started a 5-week run at number 1 on the U.S. album charts with Get the Knack, which included My Sharona. In 79, Led Zeppelin played their last ever UK show when they appeared at the Knebworth House in England. In 84, on this date, Ray Parker Jr. started a 3-week run at number 1 on the U.S. singles charts with the theme from the film Ghostbusters. Parker who had been a session guitarist for Stevie Wonder and Marvin Gaye, was accused of plagiarizing the melody from Huey Lewis and the News' I Want a New Drug, resulting in Lewis suing Parker. The pair settled out of court in 1985. The music video for the song featured a clip from the film, as well as a dancing sequence with the cast, plus cameos by Jeffrey Tambor, Melissa Gilbert, George Wendt, Al Franken, Danny DeVito, Terry Garr, Carly Simon, Chevy Chase, and others. So they did steal a little bit if they settled out of court. In 1995, Dangerous Minds, starring Michelle Pfeiffer as an inner-city school teacher, debuted in U.S. theaters. The movie soundtrack topped the Billboard 200 album charts thanks to its lead single, Coolio's Gangster's Paradise. And rest in peace, Coolio. In 1999, Kiss arrived on the Hollywood Boulevard to unveil their star on the Walk of Fame. The band had released more than 30 albums, sold more than 80 million records worldwide. In 2011, American group The Go-Go's released their 2,444th star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And in 2017, on this date, Billie Eilish released her debut EP, Don't Smile at Me, and it featured Ocean Eyes and I Don't Want to Be You Anymore. Sometimes it has birthdays too on this list. Let me see if I get somebody that I didn't mention. Dennis Payton from the Dave Clark 5 was born today in 43. Singer and talk show host Mike Douglas was born today in 1920. Charlie Sexton, guitarist in Bob Dylan's band, 57 today. It's kind of important. Guy plays for Bob Dylan. That should be. You know, you play for Bob Dylan, you might be pretty damn good. That's all I'll say. And that's what happened today in music history. All right. Oh, let's see. What else do we have going on? So we have Tyreek Hill rumors going on. My buddy Jeremy Fowler, who does an excellent job for ESPN, threw out there that there are rumors and people interested in Tyreek. And I agree. Only problem is it's what I've been telling you. Nobody's trading for Tyreek right now. What they are is watching and monitoring the situation. Because if the Miami Dolphins season does not go well, they will trade Tyreek, but it'll be at the deadline. They will trade Bradley Chubb at the deadline. Those are players that you could see parting ways. Now, it was cute because, you know, the story's out there and they run with the Jeremy Fowler thing. Now, Fowler didn't necessarily give teams, but they mentioned, you know, an article mentioned Arizona. Okay, if they're in that position, but they're kind of cheap, and I don't know if they're going to want to pay the rest of his salary. But that one I give it like a slim chance that the Bidwell family might do it. Vegas has no chance of doing anything really this year except maybe being a middling type team. I don't know if you go out there at this point. You're not challenging for anything. So making a move for Tyreek would make no sense. So I don't think Vegas makes any sense whatsoever. San Francisco's got all kinds of cap issues, and they've had to let go of so many people. I just don't think that that's going to be in the cards for them either. Kansas City, they also mentioned, because it's a lazy article, Kansas City's not bringing that guy back. Okay? And then the other one was Detroit. Yeah, Arizona and Detroit are like the slim shots that I could see if they lose a guy, they're in the hunt, they want to add another weapon, they only are renting the player for a month and a half. Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. For sure. But the Tyreek stuff, the rumors and the trades and all that, that won't pick up till later on in the season. They're not going to do it now. Even though I'm telling you the way they've built this team, it's a team that for sure I don't know how Mike McDaniel can overcome this because he's not a good enough coach. They're not going to get rid of Tyreek now. And nobody's going to offer you anything great for Tyreek right now. You have to wait till the season's going on, hope and pray he keeps his head screwed on right. And if he's healthy and his head is screwed on right, somebody will trade for him by the deadline because they're only renting him for a few weeks. It's the end of the regular season and then the playoffs, however long you last. Could be a couple months if you last all the way to the, several months if you last all the way to the Super Bowl. But that's my point. That's when it will really pick up. So I get it. People will start either writing or talking about this. None of it will make any sense. They're not moving Tyreek now. Okay, because while they've kind of waved the white flag, they haven't waved the white flag in an obvious fashion to everybody out there. So if you do this move now, which it's not going to happen, there's no chance in it happening, but then it would be obvious that you're not even trying. Here you can at least give the facade. Because people say, well, if this goes well, they can win. And so some people are already buying into the fact that if everything goes well, yeah, they can win 10 or 11 games and get into the playoffs and all that, which is really a load of shit, but whatever. But if you trade Tyreek, there's no chance you can even think that. So that's why. And you really don't want to trade Tyreek now because you'll get absolutely nothing for him. You'll get like a 5th rounder for him at best. At best. But if he's kicking ass, keeps his head on right, and the team is desperate and they got to win, and you're at the deadline, they might give you a 3rd rounder. They just might. And that's what you got to, kind of hold out for. You're not getting a 1st or a 2nd. You can forget about that. But maybe some crazy ass way you get a 3rd. Hell, if you get a 4th, okay. But that's kind of what's going to end up happening. It will not happen now. Okay? It will not happen now. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum, Solana, or Chainlink donation. Nakamoto CEO David Bailey plans to buy $1 billion worth of Bitcoin tomorrow. Okay. Ever since getting into Bitcoin, I've always had this dream of smash buying 1 billion of Bitcoin in a single bid. Tomorrow, the dream comes true. Wow. Holy shit. I mean, if you don't believe it by now, what's going on, I can't help you, man. I really can't help you. I got to say. Later on in the week, by the way, we will have the Big Cheese, Miami.com, NIL, and recruiting report. And don't forget to visit our friends at the Big Cheese and get some great pasta shipped fresh from Italy, cooked every day for you, nice and fresh, family-style servings. So you will walk out stuffed, and you will be taking some pasta home. That's usually what ends up happening. So visit our friends, BigCheeseMiami.com, 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue. And support the amazing sponsors that keep us afloat every single day for the last 5+ years. Thank you all out there as always. And whenever you visit any of our sponsors, if you go to Subaru Pembroke Pines, besides, you can get $500 off at Subaru Pembroke Pines. Please tell them that you heard it here. You know what I'm saying? Tommy says, I like Big O. He does not sugarcoat BS about the Dolphins on YouTube. There are some Dolphin platforms that will sugarcoat and talk about the Super Bowl. Thank you, Big O, for keeping it real. Hey, dude, one day, Tommy, we will talk about Super Bowl when we deserve it. Look, let me take a little work away from Sean. Okay. Make it easier for him. I'm going to give you a rant I gave yesterday on the show towards the end. Sean, you saw the talk of the practice against the Bears, that the Bears were dirty and they were taking physical shots and all that and taking them down to the ground. And all that. You heard about that, right? Did you hear about Teron Armstead on his podcast? And Teron's an awesome player and a super pro and all that. But he was saying that he was there and that the scuffle between the two linebackers, okay, your two top linebackers, that it was, well, one wanted the other to hit the guy and take him down to the ground instead of just marking him up like the play is dead right there and all that. And so Teron was talking about how, it was, and they're talking about how it was brotherly love and all that kind of crap. And, to me, look, man, the bottom line is that is another example of why the Dolphins have been in this rut for 40 years. Now you're expecting the defense on the other side of the field to take down their offensive players because the defense here is taking down Miami's offensive players. The question I have for you, the question I have for Teron Armstead, who played on that side of the ball, the question I have for all of the Miami Dolphin players that are there, the question I have for the last 40 years of Miami Dolphin players, let me ask you something. If the defense is taking players down, you as offensive players, what are you doing about it? How come a guard isn't coming off the line and just blowing right through a linebacker and right through the whistle and slamming him to the ground? Why isn't a tackle coming out and just running over a safety or a guard or a corner for the hell of it? Playing right through. Why aren't they taking shots? Why isn't the guard like manhandling the defensive tackle and slamming him to the ground to send their defense? The offense sends the defense the message, we're not taking your shit. Why does it take somebody else on the other side of the field to try to defend you? And let me ask you something, because I saw this from the writers, mostly all from the writers, and even some of the fans were on this. Oh, the Bears were dirty. Bro, it's football. Punch them back in the mouth. By the way, here's my rant from yesterday. How do you like them apples, mofo? That's all they say about my team. Oh, they're too physical. They play too hard. They hit you hard. They're dirty, this, that. Well, F you, bitch. F you. That's what I want. I don't want to hear about a bunch of writers talking about, oh, the Bears were dirty. No, the Bears are playing football, dude. Be a man. Answer the call. Bust them in the goddamn jaw. You want to know why the Dolphins don't win in big moments? You want to know why the Dolphins are such wussies in December and in January? And it doesn't matter if it's this guy or this guy, because it has nothing to do with these people. They can pass the ball, but the people in front of them have no balls. The coaches on the sidelines have no balls. From Shula all the way to Mike McDaniel, there's no fucking balls on this team. Ever. It's always a finesse bullshit style. Oh, we got a great passer. That's it. No, asshole. Run the goddamn ball. Run people over. I ranted about this last night, and I'm ranting about it again, which I don't like to do. But I like to make Sean's life a little easier. Isn't it interesting how all we heard from writers and, oh, the Bears are dirty. And then all we hear from the Panthers is, oh, the Panthers are dirty. Well, yeah, F you, buddy. We got 2 Stanley Cups. They've gotten 3 straight. They've learned how to kick your ass. How about the Miami Dolphins learning how to kick someone's ass for once? That's what I'm talking about. What a contrast. This is why it's day 18,838 since the Miami Dolphins lifted the Vince Lombardi trophy, because the last time they lifted the Vince Lombardi trophy, they kicked your fucking ass. Jim Langer or Larry Little wasn't taking your shit, dude. And Zonka wasn't taking your shit. And that was the difference in the game. And that's the difference in the Dolphins the last 40 years and the first 10 when they actually had success. They would punch you in the mouth if you got out of line, offense or defense. So this bullshit about one linebacker fighting against the other, and no, no, Brooks, no, Dotson, you need to take him down. Because we got to defend our guys on the other. No, why don't they defend them damn selves? And again, I'd like a modern day reference. Here, please help me with a modern day reference, because I've got to go back to the Bad News Bears, and the Miami Dolphins are lupus. And everybody picks on lupus because lupus doesn't defend himself ever. So it takes Tanner to come over and defend lupus. So is that what we're doing? We need Tanner to go defend lupus? Sorry, I don't have a modern day reference. Give me one, please, so I can use it the next time. If you haven't watched the Bad News Bears, I can't help you. It's awesome. The way they talked about the Dolphins and the Bears this past, oh, the Bears are dirty. They were taking people down. How dare they? And the talk of the Panthers is completely the opposite. They talk about them like they make the Bears sound like nothing. The league and people talk about the Panthers like they are the devil. And guess what? I'm glad. I'm glad that the Panthers win the game before they step on the ice. Before they step on the ice, the opponents know, oh shit, bro. This is going to be 60 fucking minutes of torture. These people are going to be physical with us. They're going to check us. They're going to hit us all the way through, and we got to bring it. Because if we don't bring it, we're going to get our asses kicked. Oh, they're dirty. They're too physical. This, that. Sam Bennett. F you, buddy. Give me Sam Bennett. Give me the bully on Broadway. Because with the Dolphins, oh, we can't get too physical here. So chew on that one now. Who do you want to be? The Panthers or the Dolphins? I commend the Bears for trying to at least be the Panthers. Do I think they will be? No. But I sure as hell know the Dolphins will never be the Panthers. Just think about that. The Panthers win game like the Canes. You remember the Canes? Well, some of you are too young because you don't know, but the Canes of the 80s and early 90s, 80% or 90% of their games were over before the game started. The opponent knew it was over. It was done. They were going to kick their ass. They were going to outplay their ass. They were going to out-athletic their ass. All of it. The Canes would have a shit ton of penalties and still kick your ass by 40 points. That's how good they were. They could have a bunch of penalties and still kick your ass. And that's what I like about the Panthers. They will wear you out, they will kick your ass, and then they will beat you. And then you could go home crying like the Dolphins do and their writers. Oh, the Bears were too physical. They were dirty. They were this, that. Well, they were playing football, bro. They were sending messages. And they kind of know that with the Dolphins, you can push them around. And when you have that reputation, it is what it is. No, the linebackers need to protect us. That's some wussy ass shit, bro. That's all I can say. Okay. What else do we have here on the chat board? Offense is soft, McDaniel. Yeah, that's it. True fan, exactly. Stop bueno, little bitch, and fight. That's it. The Dolphins are working out Jamal Williams, good player, but why? Well, because the injury to this running back is serious, Madison. So Jamal Williams, the running back, right, is who I'm thinking of, the former Packer, right? Right, yeah, that wouldn't make sense, dude. If Madison is banged up, which he is, he hit the shoulder and the head, that would make sense. Yes, sir.
Saints.
Oh, Saints. Okay, there you go. What else? Bring in Peter Worrell and Paul Loss. Hey, they're tougher than the guys we have now. That's for sure. You gotta fight for your rights to party. Big O just listened to Dirty Honey. Thanks to you, I'm blown away. So good. Oh, God. Dirty Honey is. They're so awesome. So freaking awesome. What else do we have? Jamal Williams would be a very good fill-in while Madison is hurt. Hope he isn't serious. I agree. Jamal Williams might be a nice little pickup, and he kind of has played in a system like this. So I'm with you there. I think the Jordan Brooks versus Dotson fight was a big nothing burger. I agree. It's a big nothing burger. It's silly that the two idiots would be fighting each other. And I hate that it was whatever Armstead said it was about. Oh, well, they're doing it over there. You need to take them down. No, dude. Those guys over there need to defend themselves. Whatever happened to nasty offensive linemen that didn't take shit from people? What happened to that, bro? Those are my favorite people. What was the guy's name? Donnelly or some shit that he was a little over the hill at that point. He had a little bit of gas left in the tank, but he wasn't himself at that point. And I think they brought him from the Titans. Were they the Titans then? Or was it Houston? I forgot. Anyway, so Jimmy brought him in, and Jeff Donnelly or something like, just a mean son of a bitch. I love that about him. Ken Donnelly or something. He liked wrestling, by the way. If I remember correctly, Sean, now that I'm thinking about you here, if I remember the Donnelly guy, he was like kind of a wrestling fan. I forgot the guy's name. Anybody remember? It's Kevin Donnelly. Kevin Donnelly. He was a big guy. He was so big, the numbers looked really small on his chest. They were like tiny numbers. They were normal for everybody else, but on Kevin Donnelly, he was such a big, but he was a nasty son of a bitch. Nasty. And that's what I want my linemen to be. Nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. And I The Bears are, they're playing difficult. Well, then hit them back, bro. Hit them back. Smash the idiot. Let's see. Pat in Nashville says, I'll take tough and smart Ravens over tough and stupid old Raiders. Yes, exactly. Yes. Will McDaniel play the Bodyguard soundtrack during the Lions scrimmage? Oh. Who knows? Who knows? I am not looking forward to those scrimmages and hearing what's going to happen in those scrimmages. I got to tell you, because the Lions are going to bring it. I don't know if Miami can match it at times. Let's see. What else do we have? The Miami Dolphins have always had soft media. Well, I don't know about that. It's just I thought that approach by the media overall was terrible. Nobody was talking about, well, wait a minute. Why don't you guys just defend yourselves? Do you? Let me ask you all out there. There's over 100 people, and some of you have to be Panther fans. Do you give a shit when people say that the Panthers are too physical or too dirty or something like that? Because they do it all the time. I take pride in it. It's hockey, bro. It's football. Yeah, I want you to be physical. Yeah. It's like ridiculous. Big O, I know you don't like him, but we need 5 rich incognitos on the line. Devin, you're right. Yeah, you're right about not liking, Rich Incognito because, overall as a human being, not a good person, did a lot of stupid and bad things. But the attitude, you're 100% right, dude. 100% right. It's what I was talking about with Kevin Donnelly. Except Kevin Donnelly's not going to sexually assault women or do something stupid or, So, yeah, definitely. Definitely. I wouldn't argue with that, Devin. That makes a lot of sense. Get me, guys that are nasty, but not going to get in trouble or not going to, make you look bad. So I'm not a Panther fan, but I wouldn't give a shit if people said it about the Penguins. Exactly. That's it. That's why I love the Pistons, bad boys. Knock Jordan on his ass. Right. And Jordan and the boys had to be tough enough to finally overcome that. And they were able to then punch them in the mouth and be physical with them. That's exactly it. Nothing wrong with that, dude. Nothing wrong with that. Now it's a different basketball game than it is now. They could never play that kind of basketball game now. God. Last I looked, hockey is supposed to be physical, just like football. Exactly. Big O, as a hockey fan in the 70s, I saw almost every team as physical as the Panthers are today. It was just part of the game back then. Oh, for sure. For sure. But, Brett, what were the Panthers before Bill Zito? They were the Miami Dolphins. Every time there was a fight, our Panthers walked away getting punched in the mouth. Every time. Like clockwork. It's crazy. Now, our Panthers, every time you're walking away with a busted lip and a loss. Whole different ball game. So, yeah, Panthers used to be the Dolphins. For 40 years, the Dolphins still haven't figured out how not to be the Dolphins. And it's insane. It really is. It really is. By the way, Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Alan does great work. He's the GM there. Go see my guy, Eric Stampone. They do great work out there. Thomas Umpierre, Brian Medina. Great people out there, man. And they've got a great sale going on right now. Samuel Williams. Product specialist Jean-Paul Dusan does excellent work out there. Great people. The Solterra is one of those SUVs that I'm looking at for 2026. And you can get the 2025 model right now, 0% financing available. That hybrid, great vehicle. The Forester 2025 model, 3.9% financing right now, $257 a month. The Subaru Ascent Premium, you can get it for $357 a month right now, 3.9% financing, no payments for 90 days. The 2025 Outback, also no payment for 90 days, 0% financing right now, $267 a month. That is awesome. The Crosstrek, very popular. You see it out in the streets all over the place, $225 a month, 2.9% financing available right now, no payments for 90 days. The Subaru Legacy, 3.9% financing, $275 a month right now, 0 down available, and they've also got no payments for 90 days. Take advantage of it. The Impreza, great vehicle to start off. That son or daughter of yours is getting their first vehicle. The Impreza, look, Subaru, when it comes to their ratings, when it comes to reliability and customer satisfaction, Subaru is at the top of that list every single time, over every dealership out there. Every single one, Subaru is number one. $199 a month right now for the Impreza. So you get a great car, a durable car, so your son and daughter can kind of beat up their first vehicle. And at the same time, you got 3.9% financing available, no payments for 90 days. They got 0 down sign and drive, so it makes it really affordable. Go see all my friends out there at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. All right. I would want every lineman to be to toe the line between dirty and being physical. I'm with you 100% for sure. Getting Kachuk started the Panthers to change the different culture and changing the different team, Bennett, Marchand, and others. Right. Yeah. And even a Radko Gudas, who you had here for a very short moment, right? But tough son of a bitch. And he brought a level of, okay, this is who we're going to be from now on. That kind of stuff. So I'm with you all the way through, from the Bennetts all the way to even the I personally thank Radko Gudas for helping establish the culture that we have right now, because he was part of that beginning of that turnaround of, okay, that's it, right? You see that guy, Radko Gudas? That's how you need to think, breathe, work, play. Everything has to be just like that. And I'm not talking about his skill set because he's a defender. What I'm saying is his desire to play the game, the fire he plays with, the physicality, the hunger, all that. Radko Gudas was a perfect example of how you want your Panthers to be. Nasty, bro. Love that dude. Love that dude. That was, I can't say enough about what that man brought to the table and how he really helped the Panthers establish what they are now. So, anyway, we thank you all out there. We thank, of course, the great Sean Stanley. We appreciate all of you for tuning in. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button before you go. And of course, whenever you visit any of our amazing sponsors, whether it's Toyota of Hollywood, Sloman's Home Shield, R&M Contractors, Caneswear, Welton Rayom, Hialeah Park, Moodius Dental, please make sure you mention that you heard it here on the Big O Radio Show. EJD Construction, please mention it here on mention our show and mention it to all of our sponsors. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the